Hey, this is Danny from Lord Buffalo, and you're listening to The Doom Tomb.
This is the Doom Tomb Podcast, a podcast for all things stoner, doom, sludge, psych, and today, a little bit of the occult, but we'll get into that in just a minute. First things first, you just heard from Lord Buffalo. They have a release on Desert Records. It's going to be a split with Pale Horse, Pale Rider. It looks like the vinyl is almost gone, so if you get a chance to snag one, you better go out and do it before it's gone. Legends of the Desert, Volume 1. Really looking forward to hearing this. I heard a few tracks on Bandcamp and want to see what the rest of it's going to be, and that will be released sometime around the third week of August or so. Look out for it. Thank you for that. Wow, that took me solid 15, 16 times to get that straight, and I still don't feel like I did, but I have to move on. Let's get into the interview. This is a band based out of Tucson, and I'm sure I'll say it again in the interview, but this is the band Temple. So we're with one of the bands from Tucson, Arizona. They have this occult, psychedelic, rock doom vibe. And you know what? I reached out to them not too long ago, and they were kind enough to get on the phone and talk with us. This is the band Temple, spelled TMPL. They have a new release out called Initiation of the Fool, and all the members are with us. How are you, everybody?
Doing pretty good.
Great.
Radical.
Now, could you please go around and introduce yourselves?
I'm or Abigail, whatever. I'm the vocalist.
I'm Austin. I play lead guitar.
I'm Zach. I play drums.
I'm Tyler, and I play bass.
Thank you very much for that. Now, Austin,
What's up?
how are you today, sir?
Pretty well. How you doing?
Outstanding. Now, the last time that we talked, I don't know if you remember this, it was at the Crawl show.
That's right. I do remember that.
Yeah, when you were in Cursed Ruins.
Yep. I heard that was a great show.
I got this picture of you, dude, and I don't know if you saw it on social media. I don't know what it was about the candles and stuff, but it just I don't know, it filled the room just right. And man, what an incredible night that was. For anyone that missed it, shame on you, but damn, that was a great night if you're into this kind of music.
Thanks. Yeah, Zach and I are really kind of ashamed that we didn't get video of that because that was a really cool set.
You know, I might have some if you give me a little bit. I've got, all right, I know you can't see this right now because we're doing audio. I've got my my regular Mac on one side of me. I got the old ancient Mac on like the Cursed Ruin Mac, I guess, is on the other side. And it just takes forever to load, so it's like I can't even pull the videos. I have to throw them in Dropbox and then take them from Dropbox, put it to another computer, and then save it to another drive. It is a lot, just a huge task. But I'll see what I got because I know I have plenty of material from that. I will tell you that it's probably very dark, but maybe we can brighten it up somehow.
I mean, there's certainly nothing wrong with that.
Absolutely. Now, we're going to talk about Initiation of the Fool. We got 3 incredible tracks here. But first, let's go into like the sidestep of this project. Who did the artwork for this release?
I did it.
Really?
Yes.
All of it.
And okay, so what is now? As I'm looking at it for the main release, it's kind of like this greenish around the outside, and not the purple one, but the other one, the one for the main picture for the release. What was your inspiration for that?
You're talking about the one that's kind of like mandala, like weird pattern thing.
I think so.
Okay, well.
Yeah, it says Initiation of the Fool on the bottom.
Yes.
Thank you. It was, well, it's hard to say what what the inspiration was, but definitely Turkey was an inspiration for Austin and I. We went there. The country, yes.
Not the food.
Although I recently added ground turkey to my diet, and that's good too. But right, I went to Turkey with Austin, and it was so beautiful there, like one of the most beautiful places in the world. And we were in, I believe this photo that I have is from Hagia Sophia, or if not, it's from the Sultan's Palace.
I think it's from Topkapi Palace.
Topkapi Palace, yeah. And it was the most beautiful detailing I've ever seen in my life. Like, I just can't believe, like, shading upon shading. So gorgeous, every ceiling. So I have this photo, and I thought, we need something kind of trippy, but, I don't know, something. Couldn't think of it. And I was like, okay, we'll use a photo. So I took that photo that is really awesome, and I, like, flipped it around a few times, layered it, did a bunch of stuff to it, so that it kind of, I don't know, it's like you're in one place, but 4 times maybe, or however you want to think of it.
Well, it's beautiful. It looks gorgeous. Now, is that going to be something that's on merchandise, or are you going to go with more the purple kind of logo that's more streamlined?
We're thinking if we were to do CDs that we would have this patterned on the front, the pattern design, and maybe some more art featured within.
Well, yeah, and I think the logo itself will certainly be on a bunch of stuff. But the actual, like, the background that's on the CD, like, that's probably just going to be on the CD itself.
And as far as the purple logo, we definitely love it. So we're going to try to get that maybe on, like, shirts or something. Like, definitely want to get that out there somewhere.
It does look gorgeous, and, please, for the big man out there, 3X if possible, at least a 2X for me, please.
We'll do our best.
Thank you. Even if I got to get it custom, I will do that. Now, how long have you been an active band?
It depends on what you mean by active.
How long have you been kicking around the idea of Temple?
Oh, man.
So I wrote a handful of riffs in, like, December of 2017. And that's what ended up becoming Secrets of the Shadows and Witch Moon.
Right.
And Abby and I had been sitting on those riffs for, like, a year trying to get a lineup together.
Maybe more.
Yeah, we had a couple, like, we were demoing the ideas for songs. We had a friend of mine playing bass at one point, but then he had to leave and we couldn't find a bass player drummer, but then I got Tyler on board. But we've really only been the 4 of us practicing for, like, since March?
Since the world started ending.
Yeah, really. Believe me. Yeah. And so you went from there to releasing a couple tracks. So, this goes back to this thing that I've been discussing with several different band members over the past few months is what have you been doing during this pandemic to be creative? And this personifies it,
Oh, yeah, totally.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Like, I feel like at least once a week since we were stuck at home from school, I would be like, wow, this is the most productive time of my life. I have time to practice. I have time to do all kinds of art stuff that I don't usually have time for.
Now, Abigail or Abby, I hear a little bit of an accent. Where are you from originally?
I'm from Romania.
Romania. Yes, very nice. I have some friends from Romania, and I could say some words, but I don't think, you know what? I don't think it's dirty. I'll just say it straight up. It's dirty. Do you mind? Can I try it?
Oh, go for it.
Okay. So I don't know if I'm saying it right, but suchpula?
Oh, wow. Oh, yeah, I see. It's dirty. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I used to hear that a lot. I had a couple of Romanian friends. Yeah, I know. I told you it was dirty. Now, we don't have to say what it means.
No, we'll keep that a secret.
Yes, but as I'm blushing here, I just want to apologize right away to you, Abby. But I just wanted to see, yes, so that's legitimate Romanian right there.
Yes, it is. Very, very legitimate.
Yes.
Yes, overly legitimate. Okay, I just wanted to make sure. All right, so now you're all based in Tucson, so I know that we're not seeing a whole lot of shows right now, but shows are going to be hopefully coming up somewhere down the line. I know that myself and Kyle from Old Fashioned Assassin were trying to get together Planet Mammoth 2021, and I don't know if we're going to have to move the date or not. So when you do play shows in Tucson, what are the current spaces to play?
I mean, honestly, even before lockdown, it was getting pretty dry. I mean, there's Club Congress, which gets shows coming through now and then.
Club Congress?
Yeah. There's the Rialto, but those are like really big shows. I've only played there like once or twice in my entire career. There's like one smaller venue in town that does shows sometimes, but it's going to close. I heard it was closing now because of this, so it's actually.
If I can add just real quick, like especially before all this stuff went down, but even now, so there's still like some bars and stuff that do like smaller stage stuff, and that's mostly what I was up to, at least before I got involved in this group. Was just like bar shows, playing covers and stuff.
So yeah, because the last time I was up there, I mean, we had Club Congress. The Flycatcher's gone. Is that correct?
Oh yeah, unfortunately.
And what about the Surly Wench?
They don't really do shows that often. Like every time, all the people I know have tried to put something together there, it just hasn't worked out. I think you just have to really be close to the owner, and they're really particular about the kind of music that's played there.
Right.
They like having a lot of DJs, but they're not really keen to bands. I
got you. I understand. Now, there is a band in Phoenix, Stone Witch. We've mentioned him plenty of times. And Ian, I always tell him, he's the bassist in the band. I say, this is the band I'm going to interview. Do you have any questions? And here's one of his questions, and this is for Abigail. He says you feel like you have a sort of a gothic influence. Where did you get this musical vocal style from? We'll get right back into the interview, but first, let's hear from Mucho Printing.
Yeah, hey, what's up, big dogs? This is Mucho Drums here to tell you a little bit about my new company, Mucho Printing. Now, I played in multiple bands for several years, and I know how important it is to leave your mark after any show. Even before hitting that first note, you want the crowd to know who you are and remember who's responsible for the sore necks the next morning. Presentation is an important factor in any band's mission to the top, and that's where we come in. Fully printed backdrops, removable bass drum covers, mesh cab covers, flags. These are just a few products that we can offer to you. We're based out of Los Angeles, California, and can ship anywhere in the United States. More importantly, our goal is to help promote bands off the stage as well. With every order, we'll post pictures of the prints, along with info about the band and any other advertisements you'd like us to include. Please check us out on Instagram and Facebook by searching Mucho Printing. Send us a message for any details. Hope all of you are staying safe, strong, and powerful out there. And remember, you win some, you lose some, but nothing beats getting some. Cheers, my friends.
That's really interesting. I have a hard time telling you because I myself have been kind of experimenting with just what would work vocally for me with these three kind of different songs. I will say that Austin turned me to Typo Negative, and that definitely was an influence for me in just kind of thinking in a more dark sense at the music, like sultry sort of attempt, which actually reminds me, I have, I guess, a bit of an influence from doing vocal jazz with a group in high school, and just that like jazz style of, I don't know, kind of trying to glide through notes, Right. But yeah, I don't know. It's hard to give you like this is my gothic influence for sure, but I guess I Typo Negative. So.
Okay, now in adding to the gothic, that note that the dog was hitting seemed very, very high. What kind of dog do you have? She's a mix. She's like a quarter pit bull, German Shepherd, Labrador, and come on. And oh my God, I can't remember the other one right now. But this yapper over here is my mom. I'm babysitting, and he's a little mini Maltipoo. Super cute, super loud. Oh yeah, and you know what? And very smart. That? Oh yeah, he's a smarty. He's my guard dog. Don't bite though. Yeah, that's the difference. Usually, well, I haven't been doing it for a few months because there's been no live shows. Usually I do stuff at the venue, and I have maybe various people in various stages of inebriation yelling and screaming behind us and around us, and we don't have that anymore. Now we've added dogs instead, which is absolutely fine. I am a huge dog lover. I have a lab pit myself, and he is amazing. So, okay, I got to this is a side question, and then I want to go into some of the tracks. When you're creating this music, no matter what music it is, really, do you ever have, like, just a weird remembrance of something you had next to you or something else that was going on while you hit that one space where you knew that this was the song? Like, as I was writing these questions, I just wrote down mint yogurt drink. Like, I was drinking this mint yogurt drink last night as I was writing these questions, and this is what I go to, so I can almost taste it. I know, my wife ain't happy about it because she thinks it's sour and disgusting, but I love it. I think it's awesome. It's like a lassi, if you've ever had Indian food.
Oh, I haven't, but it was reminding me of what I think is called ledne in Jordanian. I have a friend. She's from Jordan, and she has this delicious mint milk. Basically, it's so good.
Is it like a soury, tangy kind of flavor?
Yeah, like buttermilk.
Thank you. And you like it?
Oh yeah, so refreshing.
All right, so this is a testament to, hey, I think I know what I'm talking about. This stuff's good. I was somewhere else where I wanted to try. There's a carbonated version, and some of the people that were selling it were like, "Oh, please, no, don't bother. Just go with the regular. It doesn't feel right." And I was like, I don't know why you sell it. I just don't get it.
You know what? I am completely with you. I don't know why they would sell that. I can hear my grandparents and my ancestors in the back of my head saying, that milk is good, it's going bad. Like, don't drink that. The carbonate, please. So,
okay, but and I really want to get into Initiation of the Fool, but I also want to talk for a minute about. So, if you're originally from Romania?
Yes.
And so, do you cook traditional Romanian food?
I tried.
We were literally just having a conversation about this like 4 hours ago, so it's just kind of hilarious that you brought it up.
Yeah, I get mad at my parents a lot because they would cook. At least my mom would cook so many dishes at home, but I would be in her way if I was in the kitchen because the kitchen was pretty small, so I couldn't really watch or learn a lot of dishes. So now I'm like hungry for them, and I'm like, I need to figure this out. So I've been slowly trying to add to my recipe list.
That's awesome. Hey, everything takes time. Now, all right, if I butcher this, please bear with me here. Is it zakuska?
Oh yeah, it's so good. Oh my God.
That is pretty damn delicious. I do like that. Now, the one thing that I really like, and I think it's I think there's a Greek dish for it as well. I'm not exactly sure. It's is it salata de ikre?
Oh, salata de ikre. Oh my God, it's fish eggs or something. Oh, yeah. That one, I've only had a few times in my life. It's such it's a delicacy, I guess, because I can't have more than a bite because it's so filling and so rich.
Yes.
So, yeah, I remember my mom told me when she was younger, that was a big deal if you had that at dinner.
Now, I know that, and I can't remember, I'll just say Latin because in maybe Mexican or something, there is a soup that's called menudo, and and in Romanian food there's a form of that. It's a type of a tripe soup. Is that something that you would have?
Oh, yeah, I forgot what it's called as well because I actually don't like that one. It's kind of one where it's a little scarier for me, I'll say. I get made fun of for it, but I'm like, nope, it's a little beyond me.
Understood. Look, I just wanted to know. I'm curious, and the one thing that always interests me, because I feel like the best way I could say is American food. We have 3 spices. We've got salt, pepper, and sugar. That's it.
And butter.
Yeah.
And cheese.
And cheese, yes. And the beautiful thing about Mediterranean food or Greek food or Romanian food, Mexican food, is that there's just such a conglomerate of different flavors and spices that you just don't normally get. And I don't know, my taste buds, I go straight towards it every single time.
Yeah, I can attest to that.
Okay, so thank you for indulging me in the food chat here. Let's get into the album. So we want to talk about the first track right off the bat. This is off of Initiation of the Fool, and that is Secrets of the Shadows, coming out with that heavy riff. What can you tell me about that track?
Well, it was probably the first riff that I wrote for this. Just that intro riff when it starts. This one was pretty quickly put together. Yeah, I don't know. Formally, it's pretty standard.
It kind of just came together on its own. It didn't take too much.
Yeah, I mean, even like the lyrics. The melody was written before the lyrics. The lyrics borrow from the Book of Lies. It was written by Aleister Crowley.
Yes, and we're gonna go a little bit deeper into Crowley in just a few minutes.
Cool. Well, yeah. Basically, I was studying the Book of Lies at the time when we were writing that song, and it was just kind of out while we were looking for lyrical material. And so Abby kind of went through and found verses that felt like they would fit the track, and we were using that to just kind of write a melody. We weren't intending on keeping all of the lyrics there per se.
Right.
About half of those lyrics stuck.
Yeah, what ended up happening was about half of the lyrics just really felt like they needed to be there, and then we ended up writing lyrics that replaced other pieces that kind of made those parts that stayed kind of fit this whole larger narrative. And so it doesn't feel like they're these disjointed verses. It feels like it's actually a coherent piece, which is why we decided to keep those verses in there.
And it's such an interesting song. There's something about a song that can hang in the space, but then just keeps elevating. It is such gorgeous, what I could say, occult rock, if you wish. Now, Ian, like I was saying from the band Stonewitch, he had a question. Why was there the laugh at the end?
That's because I up and then I was like, God damn it. And just kind of, hanging out in that space, just being...
It was one of those candid moments of true, madness that was just captured.
I don't know.
So I thought it was perfectly appropriate just to throw at the end there.
I don't know why I like that so much. It doesn't matter whether it's that or when you're listening to something and you hear them counting off before they start the music. I don't know. I kind of like that. It's like I feel like I'm seeing a little bit of the background of how the song was created. Now, okay, so I listened to the music. I had my wife listen to Secrets of the Shadows to see what she thinks, and basically on the vocal part. And the first person that she thought of was Ann Wilson from Heart, and I got this vibe where, essence of like a Lorena McKennitt or even like a Sarah Brightman.
Well, yeah.
Well, I have just only begun trying to sing, I guess more in a rock style, you could say, since we started trying to do this band.
Right.
And currently I'm studying vocal performance, so more like opera, basically, or like art songs. And before that, I was only singing with like the church because my parents were very religious, so hymnals and, very classical style.
That makes sense. That makes total sense. And it totally comes across the whole performance, and not just lyrically, but musically. I've just been loving this. And the thing, certain things, when you hear a release for the first time, it just strikes you, and then it either builds or it doesn't. And I feel like each time I listen, I hear a new wrinkle in it, and something else that I can appreciate. And you know what? I almost want to tell people, just pause this, go over to Bandcamp, check it out, buy it. You won't be disappointed in this. Let's go to the next track, Gnostic State of the Holy Death.
Yeah. So this song, this was actually like all the riffs in this were written most recently. The idea was that we have these two like heavier songs, and we wanted to contrast it with a little bit more of like an ambient, kind of more chill or laid back kind of track.
Right.
And so I don't know what it was as far as like the inspiration goes, but I just knew I wanted weird timing on it.
Oh, it's because I kept complaining that I don't want to do regular rock music or psychedelic rock. Not that psych rock is like this, but just I don't want 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4. So
Understood.
I would tell him that all the time. I'd be like, Austin, come on, I know you can think of this. You do this with your classical stuff because you compose off time.
And so the idea was that, okay, I'm just going to make this kind of more late tempo ambient track with kind of an off timing or just an extra beat thrown in just to throw it off a little bit. And when we actually jammed it as a band, it just kind of came together really, really well.
With the lyrics that we just kind of thought might fit.
Yeah, there was like a period where I just kind of written a bunch of lyrics in a style without any actual songs in mind. And these particular lyrics just fit really well with the riffs that we put together.
Mm-hmm.
It really does, and I think it actually adds even to Abigail's vocal style as well.
I loved singing this song. This was like really kind of fun for me. I feel like I got to just sing.
It's a very expressive performance.
Yeah.
That is fantastic. So, all right, we're going to go into the next track here, which is called Witch Moon. We've got an epic track here. We've got this break that comes around the 4:30 mark, and the ending, we've got this... Oh, I know it's a type of chant, and I'm kind of blanking on it right now, with a chant going into like a haunting organ. What can you tell me about Witch Moon?
So I supplied those weird vocals right in that break. Me and a friend in high school used to do like throat singing and overtone singing kind of as a joke to begin with. And I sort of just kept practicing it over the years, and I was like kind of begging these guys to let me put it on the record somewhere. And so it sounded pretty perfect there, I thought.
Yeah, that was really fun to record and just throw in there. And it was just perfect.
Yeah.
Now, if you were to do a cover of a song just doing throat singing, what song would you choose?
Oh my goodness. What's that John Cage composition that's 433 or?
Oh, you mean the one where you don't play anything?
Yeah, that's silent. The one where it's just like scheduled page turns and stuff. You don't have to practice much for that.
Nice.
I've never been a fan of practicing, which is why I do play bass.
Oh my God, that is so. You know what? Why? All right. Why are bassists getting such a bad rap?
Probably because of me.
We got this guy speaking for him.
Yeah, exactly. I'm joking. I practice here and there, but like.
Like before we're about to press record.
Yeah.
It's okay. I do the same.
So if we could go around a little bit, I was just curious as to what other types of bands or different projects were you available, or were you in before Temple?
Okay, I'll start because I have the least experience with bands. I've been a choir girl basically my whole life, and I started playing live keyboards for Austin's solo project that he records, Forest, in I think very early 2017, like February or something like that, was my first show. And he's like, I really need a volunteer. I'm going to volunteer you during a band practice. And I was like, oh my God, okay, cool. Let me try this out. I have never played a show with a metal band in my life. So then he needed me again for all these shows. So now I do that. That was my first thing. And now Temple will be my second band that I'm in, and an actual band where all four of us are like contributing things. So that's like totally different kind of responsibility for everyone.
Right.
Yeah. Can I go next? Okay, cool. So,
go right ahead.
So I used to play in a lot of rock bands, like starting out in high school. It started out sort of like as a post-hardcore thing. And it was just like the people that I hung out with, and that's kind of why I played that genre. It was just friends that I wanted to play music with, and that's kind of how it continued.
Sure.
And luckily, I played with really, really good people, and it's kind of been like the same people. Like Zach on drums here, I've been playing music with him since a long time. I mean, like freshman year of high school, if you count marching bands. So I've met all of these guys through like classical or like more structured means. And I think that's important to mention too, is that we're all classical musicians. We're all pretty educated. And so we all have a lot to contribute.
All right.
Somebody else.
Yeah, like this is Zach. Like Tyler said, I mean, me and him have been playing in the same group for like, well, in different, I don't know.
Yeah.
We just jam.
Yeah, we've been playing a lot of this.
Probably for like, I don't know, like six years.
Yeah.
Probably. But before that, like in high school, I did a lot of like punk rock. That's where I started. And then I went into, I don't know, me and Tyler dabbled in like hardcore, really weird,
very strange timing, weird metrics, and
yeah.
Images.
And then, I started college and started doing like, I studied contemporary and classical percussion. And then I don't know, just been doing a lot of cover bands and stuff like that. Mainly like reharmed in different arrangements of like 50s tunes and 60s and 70s tunes and stuff like that. With like string quartets and all that. And recently in the past like year or so, I've joined a like traditional jazz group. We do like Jerry Mulligan tunes. And then the stuff that me and Tyler are doing now, still kind of on the side from this project, is like hip hop.
Kind of hip hop, jazz hop kind of stuff, like chill hop stuff.
Interesting, different. That's something that's pretty great though, because you get to expand the horizon and hopefully you get to bring it back to the music somehow and start just expanding on the genre.
Yeah,
most definitely. Honestly, drums this loud and like here, so it's been really, really fun jamming with these guys.
Fantastic.
And it's nice that everyone kind of brings something different to the table because of all this different like experience that everyone has.
Totally, completely. Now, did we get to everybody? Is everybody?
No.
Yeah, I didn't get to me. I've been playing in metal since I was 14, so that's like 11 years now.
Okay.
Most of them were black metal bands. Some were better than others.
Right.
And then I was mostly the guitar player and vocalist, and then I actually played in a funeral doom band called Carnivorous.
Nice.
And that's kind of the first time I played anything that wasn't like trying to be like really fast, black metal or black and death metal.
Sure.
And then aside from that, I have a depressive black metal project where I do all the instruments, Suicide Forest. We play live and add keyboards in that.
Yes.
And then, aside from that, I kind of have a million projects that I just do. Like, I don't know, Zach and I are still doing Cursed Rune stuff. Originally, I have like a solo Dungeon Synth project that I do. I've got, Zach and I done another project that's in like the Vaughn or blasphemy kind of realm with another guy that we're working. So yeah, I'm always doing something musically, but this is like probably the most accessible style of music I've played.
Right. Where, yeah, I could understand that. I could see that totally. All right. So in seeing the lyrical content here for Initiation of the Fool, we have a lot of stuff that that kind of revolves around Crowley. Can you tell me, like, what is your interest in Book of Lies?
Well, I was studying it at the time for like its actual. I was just kind of hitting Crowley hard. I've been studying Western mysticism for a pretty long time, and just at the time that we were writing a lot of these lyrics, I was really getting into a lot of his systems and his practices, and so those just kind of wound up making their way into the lyrics. But I think that's definitely appropriate for what the music was inspired by also.
Oh yeah, absolutely, you know what I mean? Absolutely. And I have a few questions. So you've studied it kind of, for a bit? Yeah.
I mean, not like in a structured way. Like I'm not a member of OTO or something like that. But I've just read the books.
That was going to be one of my questions. So do you think you'll ever do a song about Layla?
I mean, it's certainly an ability. Let's see why not.
And can you?
But I mean, that's pretty good. Yeah, I've never considered it.
I mean, I know the name that's going to be. I mean, I got it right there. It's Scarlet Woman, right?
Yeah, right. No, I didn't even. Honestly, I mean, that's a pretty good idea.
Now, I'm not sure how to pronounce this. Is it the Thelema?
Thelema, yeah.
What can you tell me about that? Do you think there's anything that you can draw to create some more music from that?
So modern Thelema is kind of like it's almost a religion, and or at least that's kind of how it seems to have become. I don't know if Crowley intended it to be that, but more of just like a path or like a point of view of understanding reality and your place within it. That might be an oversimplification, but I think personally, like there's elements that you can draw from it, but it's not like I'm sticking to it particularly.
I can oversimplify even more. I did use the imagery of the symbol of Thelema, right? I'm talking about the right thing? Oh my god, I'm going crazy. I had Thelema in mind when I was writing some of the lyrics, just a few of them, especially in Witch Moon, just thinking about like some basic things like balance within ourselves and other things.
Absolutely. And do you think that you'll ever go into something musically about, and I apologize if I'm mispronouncing this, is it Aiwass?
Oh, Aiwass.
Yes.
So that was Aiwass was Crowley's personal holy guardian angel.
Yes.
Like the voice of the new Aeon. I mean, I was trying to, I don't think I did a very good job. A couple mentioned on the nose, but trying to avoid like specifically going with his system, just because I'm not actually like a part of that system or an initiate of AA or OTO. I don't want to just be like stealing their symbols, but at the same time, I'm letting it influence my own system more or less.
You're doing you.
Yeah, and that's kind of a part of my practice, anyways. Is not allowing one system to rule over any others.
Now, if you were to do some merchandise based off, like, is it the Thoth tarot?
Mm-hmm.
Do you see any pictures coming into mind of something that you would like to have as merchandise?
I mean, I really like the hangman of that tarot set, but a big part of that is like we have in our logo we have the inverted Ankh symbol.
Yes. And
if you notice in the hanged man, his foot is hanging from an inverted Ankh.
Mm.
And so that was actually one parallel I had drawn when I was like meditating on the logo that Abby had created. And I realized that there was this correlation in the hangman card in our logo.
And that's what I like. I like when I hear somebody that actually has some clear thought behind what this is, and it's not just I'm just going to throw some symbols out there. It's going to have some meaning behind it.
Right.
Well, thank you for that. I appreciate that. I try going down that road every once in a while. It seems very difficult. I don't know if you've seen lately in the news. There was some. Dude, I don't know what to believe anymore. Like, I look online and I saw some stuff where there was some declassified documents about like other planes or.
Oh yeah, I've been following this pretty closely.
All right, do tell.
All right. Well, I don't know. I mean, there's like a bunch of Joe Rogan podcasts that you can check out where he's interviewing like this like Commander Fravor was this Air Force pilot, like came in contact with these really incredible unidentified objects that like they got on film, and it was classified by the Pentagon for a long time, but then they recently declassified that footage, and so the government, like the military, has basically come out saying like, yes, we have footage of UFOs, meaning we don't know what they are. These flying machines that are beyond our current understanding of physics. And I guess like in the past week, there have been Pentagon physicists who are like testifying in front of Congress about vehicles that we've acquired that are non-Earth vehicles,
right,
or something to that extent. That's, at least that's as far as I've been paying attention.
Yes, there is that, and then there's gosh, man, I should have wrote it down when I saw it. It was something like is something about curing things. The whole like if you believe you're not sick, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
and it's something that's coming out that says yes, we've been able to. It's basically like people that are finally admitting that you can do more with your mind than you think you can.
I mean, I certainly am of that belief.
Myself as well. Now, I'm going to change up a little bit. I just have a few more quick questions for you. Now, I know we talked about doing a cover, but I'm curious, is there any song that you would be interested without the throat singing to do as a cover in the future?
I mean, we're actually working on one. I don't know if we should say what it is, but we are working on one, and it's pretty awesome. I'm pretty excited about it.
Yeah, me too.
Interesting. All right.
I don't know. Should we reveal it?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think. Okay. I'm outvoted.
It is "Sleeping in the Fire" from Wasp.
Are you kidding me?
No, this is true news. Not fake news. Yeah.
With Abigail, with your voice, that is gonna fucking destroy.
That's my hopes.
I'm pretty excited.
Oh my god, that is gonna be and such an interesting poll. I love it, man. Thank you for that. Now, well, I guess we can go on to the next question here. What movie franchise or genre of film would you like your music to be in?
That's a good question.
Whoa.
Oh man.
What are even the names?
I want Oliver Stone to make a really trippy movie.
I'm picturing like Blade or something super bad, like with a lot of slow-mo shots with those heavy riffs.
How about that with Oliver Stone with Steven Spielberg? So there's a little bit of like magic-looking, sparkly fun.
Okay, so yeah, I don't know.
We need some action.
Blade, final answer.
Tyler says Blade. I don't know, what do you think?
I got nothing. I agree with it.
Yes.
I mean, if we had Disney from the past.
Or if we had like
Cinderella from like this.
From Dusk Till Dawn, like that movie.
Oh yeah,
like
yes,
I think
Tarantino.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
Tarantino would be really cool.
Tarantino, gotcha.
That's it's pipe dream, whatever.
All right. Now, I've asked this question. Well, the question I want to ask is, if your entire life was a movie, what title would best fit?
Oh man, you go first.
Like,
whoa, no.
Wait, like an existing movie that already is out there that we think would fit our lives, or our own title, or something.
It would be your own title, and I'll go for a part 2 on that. if there was to be a movie of, let's say, the life of Temple, and you had to pick an actor to play each person in the band, who would they be?
Whoa.
Oh man, see, I don't know any actors. Not any living.
Some old dead ones.
Can Vincent Price play me?
Sure, why not?
I think Danny DeVito is the biggest A-lister that will be closest to my size.
Elizabeth Taylor for me.
Who is it?
Elizabeth Taylor.
Oh, okay. Oh, yes, those violet eyes, yeah.
Who's a blonde-haired, blue-eyed for Zach?
Oh my gosh, I don't know.
Oh no.
Nick Lachey.
What?
I think he's from NSYNC.
Well,
Justin Timberlake.
now I'm gonna stop you right there, sir. He's actually from 98 Degrees, by the way.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And now here's this is the first time I've ever done this, and I have so I'm just gonna take this with a grain here. I'm gonna ask you go to YouTube, check out 98 Degrees, Una Noche, and you will be mesmerized with the stylings of the Lachey clan.
We are on it.
We're looking it up right now.
Yeah, believe me, you're not going to be mesmerized, please. All right. So, lastly, what new music are you all listening to? Or what music are you listening to lately?
I don't know. What have you been listening to lately?
Oh man, well, not new music.
I don't know. I've been listening to the EPL a lot. Like since it came out, like that's all I'm listening to.
Yeah, me too.
Like I don't know. Before that, I wasn't even listening to anything.
I
new.
was.
What were you listening to?
Not new. No, not new.
I'm really bad at keeping up with new music. It's like we
were working on the EP for a while. We started rehearsing and all that, so
yeah,
we were kind of. I was listening to The Devil's Blood a lot.
To a lot of Tony Martin era Black Sabbath.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Gotcha.
The newest and most modern music that I've been listening to is Russian hard bass.
Oh.
It goes pretty hard. It's good driving music.
Good. Speaking of driving, okay, so I got my first vehicle, my first car, just a little bit before I graduated high school. Now, if any of you had a vehicle around high school, what song was in your car blasting just as you were leaving from graduation?
Well, for me, when I was in high school, I was listening to a lot of Dark Funeral, and so I was probably blasting The Arrival of Satan's Empire really loud, like as loud as my car will go with all of the windows down. Ooh. I was that edgy kid who like hated everyone.
I think I played Stinkfist by Tool.
Good pull. Good call. Yes. All right.
I think mine would be like C4 by Texas July.
Interesting.
I think I didn't have any music on, probably because I was with my parents. Or I wanted to enjoy the silence of no classes anymore for a while. Enjoy the sunset.
Boy, ain't that the truth. Ugh. Well, I want to thank you all so much for giving me the time. Now, can you just tell everybody out there how to reach you on social media and et cetera?
Yeah, we are on Instagram at temple.official on Instagram. And then our Bandcamp is templeband.bandcamp.com.
Yeah.
And then we're also on Facebook.
Yeah, I think we're just Temple, and you just have to look for, the strange colors.
Yep, TMPL.
And yes, exactly, TMPL. And if you can all just thank you so much to the band Temple for taking the time to sit down and chat about their latest release. And Abigail, again, I apologize. I know it was rude, disgusting, crass. My friends in Romania are probably laughing at me right now for making a complete ass of myself. But I don't know. It's the only part of Romanian language I know, and unfortunately, it's disgusting and filthy. So, what do we got coming up? We've got a bunch of other episodes coming up really, really soon. I am just about to head out to do another interview, and then I had a phone call today from Fuzzy Cracklin's. You know what? it's time. We have to get an interview done. I think we're going to get that squared away next week, and we've got a whole bunch of interviews lined up for next week, so I'll put them out as soon as I possibly can. Thanks, everybody, for listening. Don't forget Mucho Printing for all your printing needs. It doesn't matter if you're a band or if it's just something for your family, for your friends, a keepsake. You'll want to hit him up. Mucho Printing. It's on Instagram and Facebook. And doomtombpodcast at gmail.com. That is how to reach us. Thanks, everybody. Take care of yourselves. Don't forget to stay heavy. And Abigail, I'm really sorry. That was disgusting.